My boyfriend betrayed my trust and tried to take advantage of my sleeping roommate when I left him alone in my apartment. Posted by you/roommate Time Peril. Hey, I am in a rough place, and I am really shaken by everything that has happened. There's a lot, so please bear with me. I, 21F, am a junior at a mid-sized college. My soon-to-be ex-boyfriend, 22M, goes to a state school about a 2-hour drive from my college, so he visits semi-often. We met through mutual friends and have been dating for around 2 years now. He was my best friend, and I loved our dynamic more than anything. I live with 3 other people, my best friend Lee and 2 girls who were placed in our apartment by university housing. The other girls are Emily and Michelle, 20F, who are best friends. As the year went on, all 4 of us got closer, and we've come to consider each other friends. This weekend, Emily and Lee went home, so it was just Michelle and me in the apartment. My boyfriend came over Friday after class, and we spent the rest of the day together. We went to my sorority's social event but left early since my boyfriend was a little tired. Michelle is in the army and is super fit and beautiful. She has a ton of tattoos and is overall a badass girl. Occasionally, she's hung out with me and my boyfriend in the living room. I've seen him look her up and down a few times but just thought it was a normal guy thing and brushed it off. Michelle went to bed early because she had to wake up early for drill on Saturday. My boyfriend and I went to bed after getting home when I got a text from one of the younger sisters in the sorority saying there was an emergency at her place and I needed to come over immediately. I asked my boyfriend if he wanted to come help, and he said no and that he'd stay back. I told him I might be a while, and he insisted on staying. I just chalked it up to him being tired. I ended up walking over to the girls' dorm to find one of them unresponsive from all the drinking at the social event. Her roommate was trying to make her vomit by shoving a finger down her throat. We called an RA, resident advisor for dorms, who said she would handle the situation. The RA drove my sister to an urgent care, and I said I would meet her there after grabbing a coat and my car keys. I walked back to my apartment, and I walked in on a scene that made my heart drop. My boyfriend was in his boxers, standing in the doorway of Michelle's room. I entered and saw her crying on her floor. I asked what in the hell was going on and learned from Michelle that my boyfriend had tried to go into her room while she was sleeping and attempted to coax her into having sex with him. While I was getting the details from Michelle, my boyfriend basically just stood there and didn't say anything. I obviously believed Michelle and told my boyfriend to grab his things and drive back to school. I asked Michelle if she needed me to do anything for her, but she just said she needed to sleep because of drill over the weekend. So I drove to the urgent care to make sure my sister was all right and stayed until she was released in the morning. She is all right now and just has to deal with the sorority council about her conduct at the social event. I just have no idea how to deal with my roommate because I know she must be traumatized from this. I don't want her to hate me after all of this. I am enraged at my boyfriend and so heartbroken that he would do something like this. I just feel so sad and upset, and I have no hope right now. Up in the comments. I have been texting her, but she's at drill, so her replies are sporadic. Basically, he walked in and tried to get under her covers. She woke up and freaked out, and he was saying stuff about how he found her attractive and would love just one night with her. She started crying because she was so surprised and taken aback, I think. Update 3 days later. Michelle did not come home Sunday night and stayed at a friend's place through Monday. She skipped classes for a mental health day, partly because she needed sleep after a long and tedious drill. When she got back to the apartment, she already had a game plan in place after talking to an NCO at her unit. We talked and cried for a few hours, and most of the time, we just sat there in silence, finally feeling the weight of the situation. For everyone asking if my ex was forceful in a physical way with her, he was not. The only time he touched her was when she apparently started pushing him away. He tried pushing her hands away because he thought she was going to deck him or something. We think he was shocked because she refused to sleep with him and assumed his amazing plan would go perfectly. Michelle does not want to report him to the police, but she did want to report it to our university. She decided against going to law enforcement because our university can ensure some form of anonymity. Michelle is trying to go to something called Officer Candidate School when she graduates. Therefore, she did not want to deal with any sort of backlash that could hurt her chances of being selected. We went to the Title IX office, and they immediately saw us after we explained the situation. We talked to a coordinator, but she wanted to speak to Michelle alone for most of the time. After the meeting, we were assured that my ex would be banned from campus. The coordinator also said she would reach out to his school to make sure he faces some sort of consequence. According to her, if his school takes this seriously, he could be kicked out of his engineering fraternity and suspended for a semester. Michelle was completely fine with this, she just wants him out of our lives forever. Our relationship as roommates does not feel awkward, in fact, I feel closer to her. We decided not to renew our quad apartment for senior year. Michelle and Emily will be getting a double, and Lee and I will be getting one as well. As for my ex, I blocked him on everything and haven't reached out to him since I told him to leave the apartment. I am ready to start a new chapter. However, as a last-ditch effort to see him burn, I messaged his parents on Facebook and explained what he did and why I would not be attending Thanksgiving at their house. They have seen the message, but they did not reply. Again, thanks for all the help and love, Reddit.